Colby Covington just committed career suicide. This guy managed to destroy all of his chances of ever getting a title shot. He also ruined his image. He ruined his entire fan base. And he also ruined his relationship with Donald Trump. This motherfucker lost everything. And honestly, it's his fault. I know he doesn't care, but he even lost me as a fan too. And yeah, it was sad, but more disappointing to see what Colby Covington did. Because not only did he talk that shit, and to be fair, I know it's wrong, but if I was a fan of him before that, then why would I change up now? Because he did mock Usman's coach's death. So I knew his game, but at the end of the day, I just love the chaos. That was his entire brand, causing chaos outside of the fight and inside of the fight. Also just being a really top level fighter who's entertaining as hell. But on this night, you know, the saving grace was always his performance in the cage. It just wasn't there. The grit, the pace, his two redeeming qualities for his chaotic, stuttering personality, grit and pace, was just gone. I don't know what the hell happened in that fight. I thought he was injured or something happened, but ultimately he did just fight stupid. It genuinely pisses me off when I see high-level fighters like Colby and even Leon too in the fight do the most dumbest things imaginable. I honestly don't know how Colby or his team could have thought that being patient with Leon Edwards was the right move to go, trying to strike with him in kickboxing range on the back foot. In my breakdown, when I was discussing how Colby could win, the number one thing, the most important strategy was to just put the pace on Leon. He did not do that. And the only way he can put a pace on someone is if he's walking forward, throwing flurries of strikes or chain wrestling. Who cares if Leon is going to stuff the first 10? You gotta go Marab mode. That is literally Colby's fight style. And he only did it at the 5th round, after Leon chewed up his legs. You know, I saw in that matchup, you know, southpaw versus southpaw, that leg kick is going to be wide open. But if Colby would just stick to the wrestling like how Usman did, then he would have had a much closer fight. And I believe my analysis is right. And it's surprising, but I'm going to be honest, I know more about fighting than Colby Covington. I gave him, or his team at least, because my game plan is 100% better than what Colby just tried to do. I don't know if he really was that dumb, because I know he's just gonna say bullshit for the cameras, but in his mind, I wonder if he really thought that was the game plan. Because if he did, I'm smarter than a world-class fighter. Or if he was just injured, or maybe the sad reality is that he's washed. Because I'm not gonna lie, he did look tired throughout the fight. And I know Colby does get tired. I'm not saying like Colby never gets tired. Like, because Marab is crazy. He was not tired after 5 rounds. But you know, you always saw like Colby would get tired. But it would always be after the most hectic, chaotic fight you ever seen. The RDA fight, the strikes, the takedowns, the back and forth. And he only started breathing hard in the 5th round and still pushing through it. But in this fight, like by the 4th round, when Leon was reversing position and they were going back and forth in the grappling, Colby just looked slower and weaker. Yeah, I think it was a combination of both. Bad game planning, and I think Colby Covington is actually washed, or it could be the severe case of ring rust, but I do not believe that. I think he's washed, and he just lost me as a fan, or at least I'm not a fan of the current version of Colby Covington. I will always respect what he did in his career. He had fun-ass fights. He was a champion, world-class talent, and just overall entertaining on the mic and in the octagon. So even though I do kind of hate him now and, you know, not a fan of his anymore, of this current version of Colby coping on the mic, I will always respect what he did. And yeah, this is really the end for Colby Covington, and the end for me in being a fan of his. Pretty sad, honestly. And to touch upon Leon Edwards, good for him, got it back for his dad. But to be honest, he literally fought the same. Like, this is a regular Leon Edwards performance, like a classic. Do good in the early rounds, outstrike the other guy who isn't really doing much, and gas out and lose the 5th, like always. I honestly thought that Leon was going to do more, put the heat on him, like be more aggressive because of the comments that Colby made about his dad. But no, it was just a regular decisionator performance. I really thought that fight really got spiced up, but Sucks. That's 2 years in a row now. 2 terrible cards to end off the year. For now on, only put Charles Oliveira at the end of the year, please. Because if you remember UFC 269, that shit was a banger. And fuck, that was such a good way to end off the year. Yeah, that's it.